The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Lay. Sir. Yeah. Yeah.
Kane is in the building, nigga.
Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. What's up? Alright, already the show.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, St. Andrew's School, and Printmasters.
Ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they. See, that's how that Chateau made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up. In times it's how you stand up. LUB the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up. Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder?
We're back at you on the Tuesday, January 6th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with MJ in your company right up until 6 p.m. on this Tuesday, January 6th edition of Talking Heads. And like I said, we're into the new year. First week back and second show of 2026. And our special guest today, the F&M ratified candidate for the Pinewood constituency, Mr. Denari Rowe. We'll get to him in short order. But MJ, good to see you. Glad to see you.
Good to see you.
We was running
too.
around today. You was doing errands. I was doing errands. So you're looking better since the last time I saw you.
It's just like 3 minutes ago.
Well, you know what I mean. God.
Thank you.
Listen,
thank you.
Big game tonight.
I know. And then we forgot to do our little celebration for Wemby's birthday, which was yesterday.
Jesus. Okay, we can do that. I
22.
was simply saying date night Wemby versus Ja Morant, Spurs, Grizzlies tonight. Let's do double
Spurs,
popcorn
Grizzlies.
and watch it up.
And I wish that Ja tries that dunk again on Wemby. The one he did the last time he tried to posterize him. Yeah. And I hope it doesn't
when
go.
When he threw the ball in on him and braced him with it.
Whatever. I hope it doesn't go his way. I hope he gets blocked all night.
Boy, your Spurs,
Blocks.
the Spurs looking good, though. I can't take
They are
that from
looking
you.
good.
But we got lots to talk about. Glad, busy way to start off the year. Fully loaded. Today we have our special guest tomorrow, Mr. Peter Morey from the Marinas Association and the yacht industry in the Bahamas. And we're going to talk. I got Peter's
Get some
correct
answers
title there,
on
but
some of the questions
we'll
that
get
are
that
out
right
there.
for the show tomorrow. But we're
To hear.
up close and personal how bad the marinas and our yachting industry is suffering under this current administration. And obviously, this current administration says they're going to revisit it. Well, they need to do it pronto. And we need to have some solutions and some drastic solutions, make some drastic changes to jumpstart the market.
Yeah, because I'm not even opposed to the fees. I just think that the smarter way you can do it is probably the better way.
And
Get this backlash.
Another tragic situation here in reports that a young LW young
I
student
did hear that.
passed away today.
This is really heartbreaking.
Fourth one for the new year.
This is really heartbreaking. We've lost so many young people in such a short period of time. And my condolences go out to the family of that young person that lost their life today. You just know that you're in our thoughts and our prayers. And I hope we start seeing fewer of these. I hope we go back to not seeing many at all.
And it's off and running. The texters have started. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. Naughty, please tell MJ. P.S. said, I heard her say the paint was not prime and not toxic.
It's not. So are we referring to the red oxide paint that we talked
the
about?
red oxide paint.
Okay, so nobody has to take my word for it. You can go and look this information up for yourself. The red oxide paint that was being used by those persons on the park does happen to be a primer, which means that it needs to be top coated. It needs to be sealed. I don't think that's debatable. So if she said anything, I did not hear her say it, but if she said anything otherwise, then perhaps she needs to check her information.
Well, I would take it with a grain of salt, considering if she did say it. If she did say it.
I'm not sure she would say that doesn't need
I
to
know
be
she-
top coated and sealed. That's a primer, and it can be pose potential toxic risks, as all primers can do, because they're supposed to be top coated and sealed. So I don't even think we need to debate on that.
When I know, if I ask some teacher friends and some other union member friends, she got some Pinocchio in her, so I can't really take that.
Just stop it.
I mean, she
just be
prone to
nice.
come on, be done caught her in some
In
capping.
event, we bring it back to another topic that I think is important
Baseball
to consider.
cap,
which is
football
that
cap,
in any pain, and we know
sleeping
that.
cap,
We had children. We've dealt
boating
with
cap.
We've dealt with paints. Not all paints are to the extreme levels of toxicity in terms of lead, but there are some paints that are not playground safe. That's a fact. This is why I say that the authority should not abdicate their responsibility. They should be ensuring that everything that goes on a playground is safe and up to standards.
And it's a simple just look. Like you say, you can do the simple research and see.
And it's good that that they're trying to get some work done in these parks. But as I said, we do pay our tax dollars to have an authority oversee these things.
Okay.
Anybody can just throw up whatever they want
Now-
and say it's safe. We should have standards.
Here's where I get to put on my Larry David hat.
Go ahead.
All right, listen, I don't want to sound like I'm picking on anybody, all right? But we have all heard the reports
What reports?
about Chinese paint and toys
not-
and
we're not to that extreme. We're
concerned
not-
about
we're-
toxic paints
It
now.
doesn't have to be extreme, but I'm just saying every responsible parent knows that you have to pay attention. When you get your kids paint, may end up in their mouth. You never know. So you have to be particular about things that you put in the vicinity of children, especially on playgrounds.
Hold on. Well,
okay?
if I'm dribbling that basketball and I'm shooting at a backboard, I'm shooting at a rim, and it's got that paint on it, to
And
your point the other day that you made, is that it's gonna keep coming back on me. It's gonna get everywhere.
You know what solves this very easily? Just send us the name of the person down there at Beaches, Parks, and the Beaches and Parks Authority that certified the work that was done. This is really simple stuff. We don't have to go back and forth. But if you're telling me that you get volunteers, donations, and everything is ad hoc, and then you come behind and say, oh, well, no, it's fine. Did you certify before? Did you know about it before?
My
Don't
question is,
abdicate
if
your
you want to
responsibilities.
if you want to take the materials on and all of that, that's still an issue we can talk about. But then the bottom line is your constituency allowance, Ms. Glover. Why don't you employ some young Bahamians from your constituency who need to work to do the job?
I'm sure in other things they do. But I point to the authority because we actually have budgeted for these kinds of things. There are many things that the budget will not be able to cover. We don't cover everything. We probably don't have enough in the schools as we would want to have. But for certain things that we do allocate for, show us the results.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. Happy dress, blessed New Year. Let them
New
dissolve
Year.
the parliament and the Bahamian people would be free to address all issues and bring about the right solutions. Remember, the children also took the deadly vaccine. Now beware of the flu shot today. From Grand Bahama, we're listening. Shout out Grand Bahama.
Hey, GB.
There you go. All right, let's get to these
GBI.
couple of calls and we get to the break. Talking heads.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
How you doing? Don't let anybody really up too early, man.
No, man, we good.
Happy New Year,
We're
man.
actually having a lot of fun in the new year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Now, if I don't get railed up or fired up, that ain't me, man. Come on now.
Take it up. Fire up and ready to go. Watch yourself, man. Watch yourself. No, in regard to the paint matter, I wanted to say that even household paint that we buy in sometime, the cheap ones we buy and use in our house, once you can smell it for a long time, you may be injuring your health as well, So be careful. We have to be careful
We
of
just
the
have to
things
be
that
careful.
are actually imported into the country
Yeah.
to go in the market for the public consumption, the use.
Right.
Also, I noticed in the John Canoe, there was a lot of promotion going on there as to who sponsored John Canoe and so on. But sometimes inferior product is being promoted. I have that experience with a phone that couldn't even give you GPS.
Oh, wow.
And when it was replaced, the next version of it couldn't do online banking.
Oh, boy. Oh,
So
boy.
we have to be careful of what the substandard thing that we are getting in this country. And when I Googled the phone, it didn't take me to a manufacturer per se. It took me to the local provider of that phone right here.
Interesting stuff. Thank you, caller.
Good
We
stuff,
appreciate
man. And
that.
good to hear from you in the new year.
Yeah.
Let's get to the other calls. Talking Heads.
Hello, good day, Naughty.
Hey, good afternoon.
How you guys doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, y'all only worry about the children who are dying. Eh?
No, we're not only worried about that, but we're
Okay, so why
particularly worried
is
about
it that? I mean, like, turn into all the stations, right?
Yes.
If we build in the Bahamas, right? Why do you have all this Creole on your station? All the station Creole. We build in the Bahamas.
Caller, what I suggest you do is take this down. It's called programming at GuardianTalkRadio.com. All right? And address your email to the program director and voice your concern. That's a very valid question that you have. Obviously, that's something that needs to be answered by programming. So you'll have to talk to management on that one. But that's a very
did the
valid
caller ask
question.
why we're focused on children? Did he really ask
But
that?
yeah, and then I
That
think
is
he's still
just
on the line.
weirdest-
He's still on the
Caller,
line,
did
right?
you just ask why we focus on the children?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your point?
My point is y'all focusing only on children.
No, stop. Can't let you do that because there. I don't know where you just fell from or what rock you just grew up from.
This is
Under no
unbelievable.
disrespect when I say that.
Listening to your station.
Okay, then you should know that this show, I advocate for the defense of young men between 18 and 30 that we've been losing generationally, almost
on
like
a second,
genocide. And I also advocate for violence against women and children, as well as
Hang
the
on.
elderly and the youth, as well as MJ. Now I can let her deal with you
No,
because
but
that's
hang on a
ludicrous
second.
what you're saying.
We've had a spate of deaths among very young Bahamian children over the past few days, so much so that it stands out to the public psyche. And you're calling us, asking us why.
These stations from around here, man. That's what
Okay,
that name is.
And we need to
have a
drop
nice
stupid
day.
xenophobic callers like
You
you
have
to
a
bring
nice
nothing
day.
to the conversation but idiocy. Go
Because
ahead.
that is so strange. If you have, as we have had, we've seen so many young people lose their lives, right, in the past few days. He thinks that it's not right to talk about that and to send condolences to those families.
Because listen,
coming out of this
misogyny has
really
gone so
sad
deep in
time.
this country. It's just gone off beyond the hate of women now. It's the hate and jealousy of
Children?
women and children.
Super weird. Anyway,
When I hear dudes like that, very low self-esteem. All right, very, very low self-esteem.
just strange.
Very low IQ.
We can't-
And those are the kind of dudes that are an embarrassment to the mandem. Because when we think about things, obviously you're going to talk. If you're a parent, if you're a father, if you're an uncle, if you have any bit of humanity to you, you will wonder why 4 children have passed away at the beginning of the year.
Just feel sad about it. It's
And you
okay
wa-
to feel bad about that.
And you do want to ask questions, you want to offer condolences, and there but for the grace of God go you or I. If somebody was dumb enough to procreate with you, caller, if you had a child and one of them passed under similar circumstances, you'd be singing a different story.
I got to tell you, I find that call to be super weird. I
Hey,
know
Mr.
that
Producer,
we
no-
have a lot of issues in this country, but we cannot lose our humanity to the point where we're talking about why you guys mention
Right.
children.
That's
strange.
idiocy. Listen,
Anyway,
and you weren't here yesterday, but you know the new rule for 2026. Idiocy and stupidity will not be tolerated on Talking Heads. Step up your game. You know, we dealing with smart substance. So let's focus on that, all right?
and with that, it's time for
get-
headlines.
Well, it's actually time to get to the break.
Okay, well,
But
let's
I'll
go
do the
to
headlines
break.
real quick, brought to you by Fine Threads. The Bahamas recommits to international law principles. Mitchell, we believe in territorial integrity. Don't push it there, Fred.
I think he
I
said-
like pre-clearance and I like police record
my
to travel
God.
on. Don't push it.
There's nothing wrong with what he said. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. That's the only thing holding this little idea
right
about
now?
it. You know, that
Don't
used to be
don't bring
no.
nothing up.
That
Let it
used to
just
be the
put your head
thing. You
down
know,
and
that
keep it
used to be
moving.
the cry: rules-based order, all this kind of stuff. And so we have to, respect international law. And I think that's what the majority of small nations will say at this point. Because what else can you say? What else can you say? The good thing is, I noticed there was some, the U.S. Congress was briefed on what happened in Venezuela. Their Speaker, Mike Johnson, he said that he doesn't think that there'll be boots on the ground. Now, take that with however many grains of salt you will. But I will tell you that based on the transition that quickly took place in Venezuela, based on the fact that this is an election year in the U.S., they could lose the Congress.
Right.
I think maybe there's not a lot of an appetite amongst Americans for there to be any sort of prolonged conflict in Venezuela. So I'm hoping that, they start to get into the negotiation phase now and that works out.
Over 200 received cataract surgeries through China partnership.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And Darville, government waiting on word from China before we start work on new hospital. Mr. Darville, why don't you talk about a family finding a mother dead in the hospital? unattended, and dead. Why don't you talk about men who are in their early 50s who are in good health? Go in and be denied the medical test that they need to find out what's going on. And then when they're in there, they have to be fed by a feeding tube. The feeding tube is provided by the family, and you all wait 3 days to feed said individual. Why don't you answer those questions? Why don't you answer why so many families have had tragedies at that PMH? Why don't you answer the alleged questions about secondary infections allegedly that are affecting patients in there? They go in for a broken ankle and come out dead because of secondary infections. Why don't you talk about that? Now you see why I call you shaky? You have no substance, man.
We have a lot of
You were a
problems.
piss poor a member of parliament and minister for Grand Bahama, and you are doubly lousy as a minister of health. Horrible.
We have a lot of issues for sure. I did hear Minister Darwell address that very tragic situation with that. And my heart once again goes out to that young girl that went into the hospital. I think she was only 16 and found her mom had passed away, and that it seemed that hospital staff were unaware of it. We have a lot of problems for sure. One good thing is I heard that, that they will hire some 41 retired nurses, bring them back. And so if they're willing and able to do the job, that helps a little bit. But we have a severe staff shortage in that hospital. We have many issues, and we need them to be addressed faster than they are being addressed, because in the meantime, we are losing lives.
Naughty and MJ, don't forget, they still have rodents in the PMH.
Oh, please. Okay. All right.
Let's get this one call and then we get to the break.
All
Talking heads.
Yeah, good afternoon, Naughty and MJ.
Hey, afternoon, Cleaver.
As a child right activist, I definitely took exception to that last caller.
It was
When you're
weird.
asking the question why you're talking about these children,
Yeah.
But my heart goes out and condolences to the families who would have lost these persons. But as someone who has a grandson, I am very concerned
Yeah.
as to exactly what is going on. I'm not saying no serious press conferences being held. Everybody is lackluster. And I'm speaking about since an authority who can say or do something, but we need to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
We know that, when it comes to politicians and children, they don't like children. Only when around election time they're using them for votes. But in terms of writing child-friendly legislation and getting to addressing the deeper social issues involving children, they could care less about children. That's a fact. And now, in respect to the park that I spoke on yesterday, and what I find so interesting is this, though, Naughty. Scores of parks have been renovated over the last several years. This is the last remaining park in Sunshine Park, and we are getting all of the heat. What's the situation about the paint? I studied Sherwin-Williams paint, and I studied I certified in the PPG automotive paint. What about the primer that you all have some concerns with that I can check into?
Well, no, you can just go and look it up yourself, Cleaver. It's red oxide.
What brand primer do you have here on these things?
I think that brand is Lanco, so you could go do your research on that.
That's the top brand, man. That's the top
You
brand.
can do your research on that.
Child-friendly and it's safe.
It's a primer. It should be covered. It should be
Yeah,
sealed.
the primer is safe.
Yeah.
That's a safe primer. That's a reputable company, Lanco. So there's nothing to be concerned about in respect to Lanco. Now I don't know about some other brands, but the company that I work for carried Lanco for decades.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure many companies here carry many different brands of paint.
Yeah, so there's nothing, but all we want is for this park to be completed so these children.
Hopefully
in the
you will
community
get that. Hopefully you'll get that, Cleaver.
Access and get a chance to become a VJ Edcom or Buddy Hill.
Hopefully you'll
hold on
get
a
that.
second, Cleaver. Just so you know I like to keep it 100, right?
Yeah, it's not certified for
Lanco primers can pose various health risks, primarily related to inhalation of vapors and skin-eye contact, which may cause irritation and other systemic effects.
I already
Specific
said a
hazards
note.
vary depending on the product's chemical
I
composition.
sent a note over already too.
Yeah, but then if you read something that you consume, it'll say the same thing if it's not handled correctly.
Then you can't say that it's safe around children, because if this clearly causes issues now,
it's a
you
primer.
can't say it's safe.
It's a primer, and I'm going to hope that they put a top coat on it and seal it. That's what we're asking for.
Now,
will go. See, you put a primer on to protect.
We know to protect the metal. We know.
Cleaver, hold on now. Specifically from Lanco primers, The issues that come from Lancoprimus can range from acute short-term to chronic long-term effects. Irritation, vapors, mist, or direct contact can cause irritation to the eyes, skin, and respiratory system, short-term and long-term.
Cleaver.
Come on, Cleaver.
We can't spend too much time on this, but listen to what I'm saying to you. We've already alerted. I'm sure beaches and parks is listening, and I'm sure that they'll get down there, get your park finished, cover that red oxide primer with a proper top coat, a proper sealant, and make sure that the kids are safe. That paint, that primer that you talk about, it is not safe. It is not rated.
Skin
it is not rated. It's not rated safe. Okay.
It's not safe.
But guess what?
Like everything else, if you're using it,
if it can cause irritation to the skin, you got a basketball bouncing up there, coming into contact with the primer repeatedly, then back to the kids. Isn't it more prudent to be safe, to put a top coat on it, to seal it? You don't think that's more prudent, Cleaver?
Yes, but then the work would stop because of some politician.
I can hear you want this park to be done.
I know you want the park to be done.
I know that you want it to be done.
But at what price?
We want it to be done safely, and we want it to be completed properly. Did you see there were some nails sticking out of the benches that are out there that you guys have to sit on? Don't you want those nails that are sticking out to be removed as well?
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, if y'all would have seen that park, which has been in that condition for the past, must be 15 years, then y'all would get a fair appreciation of what is going on in Golden Gate.
We have seen, and guess what? It's not limited to Golden Gate. There are other parks around the island that do deserve a lot of attention. We would love to see all the parks beautiful. I'm with you. We could get some more. Absolutely. But when you do it right. Don't slap some lipstick on a pig and tell us that the job is done, because guess what? In less than a year from now, you'd be surprised. It'll be right back to the derelict position that you find it in now if it's not done properly.
Well, I'm not wearing any colors on this particular issue.
Yeah.
I want the work completed so these
I hope it is for you as well.
Can be involved. I'm not wearing no hat or not on this issue.
I hope it's done for you guys.
And I
as
get
well.
your point, wanting to get done, Cleaver, but at the end of the day, if we're going to do it, let's do it right. Don't let it have a ripple effect.
We're doing it right, but then
if
you look at the parks and the adjacent areas, then you would get a fair appreciation as to why we in Golden Gate want this park to be completed as well.
I hope it gets done for you, and it gets done safely for the kids.
Cleveland, you forget.
For the kids.
You forget we used to work in City 2000.
For many years.
At 94.9. I'm
very
familiar with all them parks.
Very
and they
familiar
all
with those
suck.
parks.
And I'm familiar with tournaments they are there. I'm familiar who get killed on them parks. I forget who, trust me.
We are familiar with it. I think Cleaver just
You are
wants
preaching to the choir.
He wants it done, and I get it. I'm hoping the powers that be are
His passion
listening.
is in the right place for the kids. I get it.
But you can't rush it.
But I can't condone foolishness that's getting it set up. That don't make it right.
Yeah, you can't bypass the safety concerns. You can't bypass the certifications that should take place. You can't bypass that. We still have an authority that should have oversight to make sure that when it is reopened, that it is safe for the kids.
And Cleaver, you ride hard for the young men. You got to keep it 100, bro. I mean, Miss Pia Glover Road did not put them in a position, constituency allowance-wise, or from the donation to put young Bahamian males in power to fix the park that they live in.
It's a better way. There's always a better way to do it. Hopefully, everyone concerned has learned their lesson from this experience.
You call that electioneering or no?
No. I'm going to... I don't know. We're going to take a break right now. We'll come back with our special guest. We have a special guest we got to get to for today. The ratified candidate for the Pinewood constituency, Mr. Denari Roll, will be with us on Talking Heads. We will be right back.
You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired. Let them know you there, that you struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere. Yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home. Even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so strong. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when they come up, the show goes on. Alright. Already the show goes on all night till the morning we dream so long.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl and drink or a one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and soda, all for just $9.95. KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
Looking for a school that's international, proudly Bahamian, and truly invested in your child's future? Bring the kids and join us at the St. Andrews International School Open House on Saturday, January 17th at 11 a.m. Meet our passionate teachers, tour our campus, and experience a vibrant, welcoming community where students are supported, challenged, and inspired to lead with confidence. Come see the St. Andrews difference for yourself. Visit standrewsbahamas.com or call 677-7800. St. Andrews International School, ethics and excellence.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, January 6th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. We're going to get a couple of texts out the way, then we're going to get to our special guest.
So this texter, and shout out to all of our texters, let me see. What's happening here? Hello, Naughty and MJ. Why cannot we get the consent age of 16 in the Bahamas to protect our young people and enforce the drinking age to 18 years? The Bahamas needs to change for the betterment of an excellent future. Selah from Grand Bahama. The drinking age is 18, correct?
It should go to 21, in my opinion.
Perhaps it should go to 21, and then the age of consent definitely should be, I mean,
at least 17.
I would take it to 18.
Yep.
I feel that, when you start becoming sexually active, you should have, most of your frontal lobe developed by then. I think 18 is an appropriate age because that's the age we consider them adults. But I do hear you that the age that it stands at now is too low. This texter says, condolences to the families of the 4 children. Plus, please keep the Creole programs on the best private radio stations. This texter says, we want to stay alive and out of all hospitals. Yeah, staying out of the hospital is... And then this texter says, don't let up, safety first. Thanks for your instant research and rebuttal. We actually went over it yesterday about the red oxide paint. And my question is, and I'm glad that the minister is trying to do something for our community. I can hear the desperation by which the members of the community want that park to be finished because they've been waiting for so long. And sometimes that clouds our judgment because you're saying, I want this done, I don't care. I don't care. Just get it done, right? Because you've been put off for so long. You've been without for so long that sometimes you're willing to take just about anything. But I maintain that this is why our institutions need to be strong. We do have a whole authority called Beaches and Parks Authority. They should certify even voluntary work, anything donated to any park. At the end of the day, taxpayers, that's us, we're responsible for the safety of that park. So thank you for the donation, but it's not going to be where you can do something in a public space and there's zero oversight. That's ludicrous.
All right, let's get this call in and then we get to our special guest. Talking Heads.
MJ and Naughty.
Hey, Jeff. Good to hear from you. Make it quick for us, but go.
Yeah, okay. Very quickly here. It's kind of ludicrous. We've already discussed all this thing about the oversight. We also spoke to about it's more than one agency that should be involved in that process. It's just kind of crazy that there was no representation from any of these departments to oversee what was going on. And even if questions were asked, they would have been there available to answer those questions instead of the persons who are actually doing the work.
Yeah. Yes.
My other point here is it was very refreshing today actually to hear the Bahamians speaking about, even though we understand that it's really upon the foreign policy vision of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and so on and so forth, to talk about the current crisis between Venezuela and the United States and the President of the United States.
Right.
to hear the different views, whether they are dissenting or whether they are in agreement, to have a very conscientious dialogue on how people really feel about what's going on, the crisis that's going on right now, and specifically how if we allow our pants to be dropped, how that also can translate to come here to the Bahamas for the same thing to happen to us. This is how a lot of persons, they're not thinking this thing through, because if a precedent has been set,
right,
then expect it to happen to us when we are asleep in our beds,
right,
and so on and so forth. We've seen this thing similarly happen with one of our fellow brothers who's actually serving time in the States now, where the helicopter just came in the nighttime, they just whisk him and carry him away. So,
and who signed the extradition order on that one?
Okay. So we all know the story behind that. But my closing point is simply this. We as a people, we cannot and should not be silenced through fear that if we open our mouths and we speak about these things, and yes, we understand but the foreign policy and getting involved in other countries' politics and so on and so forth, but we got these countries getting involved in our politics, and mum's the word. So let's just continue to keep our eyes open, and let's pray for our member states, that is down in the Lower Caribbean, and let's see what's going to happen. Okay? So thanks for taking my call.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
All right.
A pragmatic and sensible stance.
We'll get to our guest now, Mr. Producer. Put the calls on hold. We'll pick the calls back up in short order. We'll open the lines back up in a minute. But I'd like to welcome to the show, no stranger to the show, but obviously today here with me and MJ, because last time he was there with just me and him, the F&M ratified candidate for the Pinewood constituency, Mr. Denari Roll. How are you?
Welcome.
Good to see you. Happy New Year. All right, now we got to work on this mic down here, Mr. There you go.
Right, there you go. Good. Happy New Year, Naughty. Happy New
Same
Year,
to
MJ.
you.
Happy New Year, Bahamas. It's a pleasure to be in your company. Naughty, I'll be the first to say I like to win, so I hold the record for being the first on the show the New Year. So
there you go.
Number one.
There you go.
Taking that one.
First out the gate.
And you know when you come on Talking Heads, good things happen. So, you know.
So it's a pleasure to be, like you said, my name is Denari Roll. I'm the newly ratified candidate for the Pinewood constituency for the Free National Movement. I'm excited for the work that lies ahead. I've been on the ground for the past year and a half officially as an aspirant. Prior to that, a lot of people don't know I did a lot of work with the former MP Ruben Raming behind the scenes in his tenure, 2017 to 2021. Most of his projects that he would have got off the ground, I would have assisted him in a major way. I would have played a key cog in getting some of his messaging.
So you've been working in the community for a while.
So they're familiar with you. They know who you is.
Very much so in terms of from his campaign to now, and then I graduated from CV Battle High School.
I was just going to say, just tell us a little bit about you. For persons who are hearing you for the first time, just tell us who's Denari Roll.
Okay, so my name is Denari Roll again. I pride myself on being a God-fearing father. I have one son. His name is Damari Roll. He attends St. John's College. He's in the 8th grade. Outside of that, I've been doing community service for 15 years. I started at 10 years old. They call it 10, but we just was talking about age 18. I was doing a lot of community work and give back. I started off as a youth leader in church, whether it was being the leader of the basketball team. I was the deputy head boy in junior high school, taught male graduate in senior high school. So leadership was something I became customary to. I did college in cold Halifax, Canada.
Oh, wow.
What?
Damn.
Yeah, undergraduate diploma in information technology, information system specialist.
Okay.
I completed 9 IT certifications there, so I call myself a tech guru or tech junkie, one would say. Came back, worked the water and sewage for 13 years, and I always knew I wanted to come back. I had offers to stay abroad, but the brain drain in the country is real. I am one of those young persons that I believe that if I exhaust myself, I would rather exhaust it trying to make my little country the best place that it is. And so I came back home. I did a lot of work with just basic charity, giving back, making other people smile, whether it's at the Elizabeth Children's Home, the Ranfley Home, whether it's at the elderly old folks home, just collaborating, just breakfasts, lunches, just putting smiles on people's faces. And so one of the things I say now is time to go in the big public life. I had a history within the F&M. I started in the Torchbearers Youth Association, which is the longest-serving youth political organization in the arena. I by times I was completed my tenure there, because you fizzle out at 30, they call you old at that time.
So you can't, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
you gotta move
fizzled
on.
out. Yeah, I
Gotta move
fizzled
on.
out. I left with being able to get the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Torchbearers Youth Association. During my time as a torchbearer, I actually served as one of the youngest council representatives the party had at the time. I represent the Gardeners constituency as the council representative, sitting on the council for about 7 years. I then matriculated to being a trustee within the party, a national party officer as a trustee, and after serving as a trustee, my last 2 years at the last convention, I was served currently as a national vice chairman. And so I've been committed to not only the party, but the work that the party is doing in and outside of the political arena. And now I'm your candidate.
Is frontline politics something that's always been kind of like in the back of your mind, like eventually I may want to serve as a member of parliament and represent my constituency? That's something you've always thought about?
Well, service was something I always thought about. Honestly, admittedly, I never wanted to get involved.
Frontline is different,
yeah,
right?
with politics, because to me, as a leader, I feel like a lot of politicians sell you this pipe dream. They don't live up to the expectation of what leadership is, in my view. And I just think politicians are a bunch of fluff, plenty talk, a lot of bark, no bite. So I didn't want to get involved in it. But funny enough, one of my good friends was like, that is exactly why you need to get involved, Nari. Try to change what you see. Try to be about the change you want to see in the world. Change some of the things you dislike. You might run into people with like-minded like yourself. And so get in the fight. And so after she got me to come to one meeting, the rest was history. And so it isn't fun. I wouldn't say that it isn't fun, because sometimes you would find yourself in, like, for me, things that you really mean well about.
Right.
You would actually realize that some people just on that run.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'd
So
be
you gotta do
surprised
things
to
a bit
know
differently.
the opposing views, and a lot of different personalities that you come across. And like earlier, I mean, I'm a child advocate myself, having a certificate in trauma care and being a certified youth leader in the country as well. Just as you could see the head of caller say something like, why we focus on children.
How strange.
And we focus on, and his focus is just on xenophobia. Like it's like to have to deal with stuff like that in a role, what you really would want to say to someone like him, like, I can't be as explicit as
not on the
Naughty,
radio,
right?
not on the radio.
But you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to be able to have to appreciate so much dissecting viewers, when the reality of it is you only want better for your other brother or your other sister. And so my thing about it is, as Bahamian people, we must know what we worth. I think we have set ourselves short. We've allowed leadership to get away with a lot of nothingness.
We have rewarded mediocrity for far too long.
Yes, and in my view, I would say successive governments. I'm like, we wouldn't say, oh, the FNM is so perfect or it's magical, and we get successive governments. I think that we could be better. And I'm one of those that I tell Bahamian people, hold us accountable, man. You this little slap on the face and, like you say, putting peg on the lipstick and making it just a destiny girl, like that is frivolous from what we could be if we really hold our leaders to account. And so I'm happy to be here. The work is just starting officially for me, but I've been doing the work. I'm excited for the journey ahead, and I think I'm going to do pretty well in this venture.
What are some of the issues that you've met on the ground in Pinewood? I mean, Pinewood, when people say Pinewood, they look at it as a constituency. It's a long-standing constituency. It's a long-standing community. But let's be honest, it originally started as family homes, but a lot of crime, a lot of new populace moving in, and a lot of issues with the flooding
issues.
I mean, just to name a few right off the top.
So, Nadia, as you mentioned, a lot of people might say in my time of canvassing, a lot of people might think that the flooding is actually the number one issue. But I think a lot of people have become accustomed, not that they're comfortable with it. And I think crime, from what I was hearing in my time of canvassing, is the actual number one issue in the community. Crime is playing a major role in the community. One of my pillars, I have a Pinewood Action Plan, and I have it articulated through ACE. That's my abbreviation, ACE, because my intention is to ace the test in Pinewood, and that's action, change, and empowerment. It's a 5-pillar plan. There's action, change, empowerment through youth development, and then you got action, change, empowerment through elderly care, action, change, empowerment through crime prevention, which is one of my topics, action, change, empowerment through community development, action, change, empowerment through entrepreneurship support. And so crime prevention is one of the key core focuses, because talking to residents, I realize that's the issue.
How would you go about that? I know that your primary function as a member of parliament would be to, help write and, I guess, pass laws. But obviously, there's a lot that the community and the constituency expects. We understand your major role is as a legislator, but we do expect our legislators to also be leaders in the community.
Yeah.
Crime, you say, is a big issue. How would you address crime in Pinewood?
Yeah, so some of the things I already have set up, like I said, I'm a tech junkie, so I've already collaborated with about 2 of my friends who have committed to helping me expand the CCTV footage in the community, and it's not really necessarily about reinventing the wheel. I've talked to a lot of retired officers who still active, who still have connection with police and those type of friends. We want to bring back the crime prevention program inside Pinewood. So we already had started discussions with that.
So former retired officers in the community willing to help?
Yeah, they already committed to assisting me with bringing back the crime watch within Pinewood. Because again, I feel like it's your home, it's their home, it's our home, so we will all feel comfortable looking out for our neighbors. So we are looking at reestablishing the Crime Watch Association within Pinewood. That's one of the things they have on the agenda. Like I said, I already talked to 2 friends who've committed with helping me to expand the CCTV footage. Once we collaborate with the current that exists, we could identify more of the hotspots. We get some CCTV footage in there. A lot of derelict vehicles are in the area, and so we have committed to clearing out those derelict vehicles. And one of the things we're starting in this month here, just was waiting to get set up, is overgrown properties and bushes. So I've had a lot of requests already. So whilst I'm not the candidate, I'm still committing the residents to assist. It's not my job, however, I'm coming out. I call myself an action man. And so I have my backhoes on standby now. We did the ground running this month. We're going to clear down some properties to make way to clear up some of the storages where we call people throw their little dope, their guns and stuff like that. We clearing out some yards and properties.
And when you do this kind of work, do you find that you get a lot of buy-in from certain members of the constituency, like they're willing to help you? They say, "Oh, Denari, willing to help you clean up and get this stuff done?"
Yeah. So what I realized too is, again, and for me, everything is within Pinewood. Everything I use, everybody I'm connecting with, I'm actually building a skills database. So all of the people that assist me, these are Pinewood residents. They want to make their community better, and for me, once they have pride in their community, there's no telling what our community can be. And so you would genuinely see they have support. Like, but this fella's serious. Like, he ain't even the candidate and he trying to move. He doing these things that the current MB ain't even doing. But he making it. And like I telling them, for me, it's more than it's about vote. We have to set up an environment that are comfortable for us. Hold me to the standard. This is what you should be getting. This is where we need to go. So even if you don't see a Denari everywhere, push to try have a Denari everywhere. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I encourage my colleagues as well. Let's push to be better. Let's be difference makers in the community. And so that's what I'm bringing to Pinewood. And it's giving me a lot of, like you say, a lot of good buy-in. It's a lot of residents buy-in, and they are willing to get on board because they saying, okay, I could get behind action. I could stand behind someone who's willing to move, willing to get some things done, willing to make my environment better.
Has there been any traction or anything done in Pinewood thus far that you've heard from residents as far as, the incumbent who you're facing and on the ground against?
Nothing of noteworthy that I was made aware of. Most people talk about, I know he dropped a picture of him spraying something on the park, like he's spraying the park or something. And in my view, I said, you can't even photo up properly, you in loafers and long pants and long sleeve. At least throw on some tennis and some joggers to look like you're getting dirty. I see the signs up to say he is doing the parks pretty much. That's about it. But nothing of noteworthy in terms of across my desk. But my focus is not really on him. I could care less about the lack thereof that he provides. I want residents to believe in the action that I will bring. And I'm just going to continue to work, prove myself noteworthy. And like you say, the second main issue is the flooding. Not to label the flooding. That's big for me. I worked at Water and Sewage, like I said, for 13 years. Currently, I'm on leave now, but I'm the manager. I was the manager for road reinstatement infrastructure. Prior to that, I used to work in GIS on all the projects where I could actually watch live infrastructure get installed. I used to have the GPS it, geotag it, digitize it on maps, that sort of stuff.
Maybe they need to bring you back off leave because I could tell you some corners between Fort Charlotte, St. Albans, Paul Track, and the White Grove. They got some issues, man.
You're on leave because you're a candidate,
yeah, I'm
right?
on leave officially because I'm the candidate. I don't want to muddy the water, and I'm a professional like that. So
well, I know you got a network, man. Give me a number, somebody who I could call, man. We need your help, man.
So I don't want to muddy the water with work, and because unfortunately this government,
and that's the right thing to do.
This government does victimize this government. They have been trying to antagonized me, I would say, despite the fact that I was actually on vacation, getting calls from Water and Sewage about what my intentions is and when they were well aware. So
but see, that's what you have to do when you're a successful candidate. You need to separate.
I separate myself, right? So that's why I separated myself.
And from what I'm hearing, I after last night in vote in Southern Shores with the PIP, I don't think Clint Watson got to separate because I hear he got monkey stomp 40-0.
Just stop. I don't even know why they put that out there.
Yeah, so as a candidate, I did the thing just to avoid any type
no, but
of
it makes
confusion.
sense. That is the right thing to do, and you should do that.
It's transparent, and that speaks a lot.
But let's just get back to the core issue: the flooding in Pinewood. What is the solution?
Okay, so right now, this government is proposing. Well, the F&M did have a plan in place. You know, Dorian and COVID shifted the agenda. We were able to get some drains in there to bring temporary relief, but the long-term relief, it has to be overall plan. This government had a town hall from 2022. We had 2 minister shifts since then, a new minister of works. And after Tropical Storm Imelda, they had another town hall meeting, I guess, to try appease the residents to make it look as if they care. I attended that town hall meeting and I offered. I didn't make it political. I literally went to that meeting to hear the concerns of residents, number one, to feel them out. That's the first thing. And the second thing was to legitimately offer solutions. Some of the solutions I've tabled and continue to call on for. The first thing is just simple drainage maintenance.
Okay.
I currently right now could tell you, I don't know if the current MP or anybody else like vying for the seat, I think the COI leaders in there as well. I don't know if any of them could tell you how much drains exist currently in Pinewood. What are the depth of the drains? Is all the drains dug below the water table or above sea level? How is it? I don't know if any of them could tell you that. But what I could tell you, what I've done is my research. I could tell you it's at least a minimum, based off my map, 50 drains within the Pinewood community. I average about 150 depth. You look at the map that I did for myself, it's a contour. So the contour allows me to see the high and the low rising areas in the area. The main flooding areas right now, you got Sapodilla, and you have Pigeon Plum Street.
Okay.
They are low rising areas based on the contours, loaded with water. What behooves me is that they have a pond right there on Pinewood Park. Literally. It's a man-made pond, open pond, water just settled still. For the life of me, cost effective. Right now could be done with immediate relief. Guaranteed under $1 million. Take the pipe infrastructure. So Water and Sewage right now provides water where they simply set up pumping stations. They're connected with pipes. They feed different homes. The water pushes through the station. If BP are cut off, we have a generator, backs up the water, stores in the tank. That water pushes out. If the current cut off, customers still have water. So for me, the same rule applies. You have a low rising area like Pigeon Plum. You take the pipe. First of all, you could dig deeper than the current pond of this. We could use as a retention pond.
Okay.
So you dig deeper. You set a vibe box. You set a basin in that. Let that water catch, drop in that basin. You get a piping infrastructure, water and sewage stations in the nearby area. You connect that pipe, pull the water from the pond, you send it to the station. A lot of people have this philosophy where you take the water and send it to the sea. I feel like the water could damage the ecosystem. A lot of pros and cons. My view is Pinewood residents have struggled so long, let's incentivize the water. Pull it through our system, set up mini pumping stations, store the water in the tank, give it to people. We could go as far as hydroelectricity. Cutting down
you're starting to lose me now, but I can tell that you're an expert on this.
That's what I'm saying. Doing the research. This is the plan. So we could go with hydroelectricity. We could cut down Pinewood residents' bill because we could put them on a machine. The water feeds the current and sends them current. We could give them water to say, yeah, wash your car, water your grass. Pay it if it fall like here. Let the lab, because we have specialists who could test the water and say, this water is so good, you could bear with it. Here, have your 5-gallon jug, you could cook with it. Wash off your fruits.
This was the question I was going to ask. If the F&M becomes the next administration, do you have a solution that you could get, in the air, Mr. Pinto, to Pinewood? But you've told us clearly you do.
I'm going to be championing this cause. And one of the things I'm promoting right now is a public-private partnership. Like, for me, I'm going to do my endeavor best to see this through. And like I say, immediate relief right now is setting up the pond in Pinewood right there to be a retention pond. That's the easiest basic that will automatically bring immediate relief to the residents on a main corridor like Pigeon Plum, right off from the park, immediate relief. Make that a retention pond, funnel that water out, you good to go. Another solution, cheap and doable, we have a lot of beat up roads, right? And I get beat up a lot for roads. We use asphalt. Asphalt right now is produced by Bahamix. They just privatize it. Don't ask me why it was a government entity. Right now, they have a asphalt called permeable asphalt. in certain pockets, instead of using the hard asphalt, we use the permeable asphalt,
So let
which
the water-
absorbs the water. So instead of the water just riding off the
Us.
road and flooding up the side of the road, it sucks like a sponge.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. You build a base so your valve box can catch the water, and that pulls the water out. So now rather than the water matriculating and going in people's homes, it absorbing through the asphalt. And it's a sponge that seeps the water, and you put them in
I
different
think they may
pockets.
pick the perfect
and
person for
Sapodilla now,
Pinewood.
Sapodilla now is clear water because that's a hot
I
spot.
think they might have picked the
Even if
perfect
we only-
person for
Even
Pinewood.
if we only do it on Sapodilla to test it. But
Right.
that can test you immediate release. So these are some of the things we could do before we get to the 20 million plan.
Well, we got to get to the break right now, but we're obviously going to have this conversation and take it over into the 5 o'clock hour with the F&M's ratified candidate for the Pinewood constituency, Mr. Denari Rowe. This is your boy Naughty along with MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. This is the Tuesday, January 6th edition of Talking Heads, which continues right after this.
Yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war for these ghetto girls and boys. I'm rapping around the world for Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour, Oakland out to
Are y'all ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Guess who's at Burger King Nassau? SpongeBob SquarePants. That's right. Splash into any Burger King Nassau location and try the all-new SpongeBob Whopper. Flame grilled beef patty, topped with SpongeBob secret sauce. All the fixings you love on a yellow sesame seed bun. And kids, dive into a BK Kids meal and get a fun SpongeBob SquarePants character toy, no matter your age. SpongeBob Whopper combos are waiting for you at Burger King Nassau, where flame grill tastes better.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
already. The show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, St. Andrew's School, and Print Masters.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on their desk, unaffected by
We're back at you on the Tuesday, January 6th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with Mary Jane and your company right up until 6 p.m. Our special guest, Mr. Denari Rowe, the F&M's ratified candidate for the Pinewood constituency. And continuing the conversation, let me get some text out of the way, and then I got a couple of questions for Mr. Rowe regarding Pinewood and the flooding issues that we were talking about. Naughty and MJ, the Park Authority just overspent $7 million, and now we're begging the Chinese for help. Please, Naughty, please ask your special guest to take the cap off. You want to see his full face. I know the gentleman, and I wish the nation to see him. Turn it back on, but turn it back. Just talking head. I give you permission to reverse the hat. You can rock it backward if you want.
We good. I didn't know he was live.
We're live. While we're on air, we're also streaming at the same time while we're
We
on
do
air.
have the best listeners, but I'll be honest with you, some of them biggity and brash and braggadocious and bumptious.
I know,
Listen,
right?
I work for them. It's good. They can look at me. I make sure shine
All right.
my head good anyhow. It's good.
Thank you. I see the adjustment. And listen, I just want to tell Naughty and MJ,
Real time.
Denari is an awesome man of principles. Great to see this young generation for Pinewood. And he gets my vote. Double wow.
It's interesting. I will say that with your particular, because I think every candidate brings certain expertise to the table. With your particular area of expertise, as you're explaining it to us just now, it seems like you're the perfect match for Pinewood that has been experiencing these flooding problems for far too long.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but I'll get to the text in a second. But great job he's doing and will do in Pinewood. We must be happy to see a young man who wants to serve without any agenda. Like him, many young persons do not want to get involved in building our communities. Politics is not dirty. Many persons in politics are. Yeah. We need more clean persons in politics. All the best, my brother.
Thank you, man.
All right, now my question for you, Mr. Road, and I've mentioned it plenty times on the show tonight. Can you please, in your expertise, in your position of expertise to speak on this, isn't proper drain cleaning involved blowing with blowers, high-powered wind blowers, as well as pressure cleaning, like water, water guns? I don't want to say if it's pressure cleaning or high-powered hoses that actually clean out those drains. Yeah. Shouldn't that be part of a requisite when a contract is given to clean the drains to a said company or said entity, that is part of the requirement?
Yes, and
because I'm still trying to figure out why I see today the pickup truck pull over with 3 foreign nationals, 2 short Bahamian dudes digging out the holes with buckets and shovels and masks. That to me is not, for what I'm paying for as a taxpayer, that's not servicing the needs we need infrastructure-wise.
Yeah, and I think, again, like I mentioned a little earlier, I think we started to settle just for less, or anything goes, I guess. Anything backup goes, because we don't take it seriously, or we don't put or know what should actually be done. And so I've always mentioned, and people say, oh, well, the drains just get cleaned out, and I always say proper drainage maintenance, like you just mentioned, Naughty, because the necessary equipment that is needed to make sure the drains are maintained properly, we very rarely get to see. So like you say, how often do they blow? How deep do they go? Do they snake? Like when you snaking on the line of sewer, whatever, do they snake the drains? That sorts of stuff does not happen consistently. And so using the necessary equipment and material to get the job done is essential. And that's why I always tell people, consistent monthly maintenance of the drains will be done. Because if you go now, and I'll show it, like I say, within this month, as I move along to start to assist residents with this issue, I'll be displaying how some of the drains are uncapped. We will properly do deep cleaning on them and maintain
them. And I only
them.
make a documentation of this, man.
Oh, no, I will.
Video journal,
I will.
so we know.
So as I go along, I will show, because I don't want people to say, oh, you're just doing this for votes. No, I'm going to show the before and after effects, how it was before and how it was when you clean.
To the theory of before and after, if you're successful and you do this in the process and in the campaigning to get in, and you do get in, there's no turning back. You have to keep doing it.
Oh, no, I'm never, of course.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so when somebody jumps up and says, no, I'm doing this long term, and at the end of the day, I'm doing it for residents. And if I don't get the vote this time, I get it next time. But we all know who came with the solution to this.
Yeah, so definitely.
And I think if you find a solution, or you even associated or attached to the solution of the flooding in Pinewood stopping, your reward will not only await you in heaven, it'll be on every street in Pinewood when you walk around.
Definitely.
You'll never have to buy breakfast for the rest of your life, MP or not.
I tell you, so definitely, like I tell people, like you say, it's a consistent thing, but I'm not, I like to be proactive, so I'm not just going to wait until I am successful. I want to do it prior to, just to show people what is going to come.
But
and
see, I think this
continue.
speaks to empowering more young people with vision and solutions. And that's the problem. We are scared to embrace new ideas, new ways of doing things.
But we in the 21st century,
that speaks to numerous administrations, especially this current one, looking at this situation and not taking 5 minutes like you did to say, hold on, what is the solution to this? How many drains do we have? How deep are they dug? Within 5 minutes of you telling me who, and I am no expert on drainage.
You didn't get it, yeah.
I got a basic idea of, okay, there is a solution to the problem. Let me listen now and see where this goes.
They do exist, and that's why I always call for immediate relief, because obviously the 20 million project that they talk about, that will take about 3.5 years or so to complete. So you're looking at a whole nother election cycle if they actually do go through it, to carry that out in its entirety. Because overall, to say, maintain the drain to avoid any issues, that is a long haul overall project. But to talk about immediate relief that could affect the main flooding areas for sure, like I mentioned, the Sapodilla, which is a low-lying area, the Pigeon Plum Street right there from the park, which is you could bring immediate relief right there. And then through certain corners that do flood but are not as heavily saturated with water, I think the drainage maintenance monthly will definitely play a role in assisting and
'Cause
alleviating some of the
you don't-
flooding.
you don't see
And
monthly
then we
maintenance
could
on
get-
the drain.
No, it doesn't happen. And that's why even when the PLP supporters or trolls, you would call them, come and we do monthly maintenance drainage now. I say, they can't. Show me. Give me the proof. Where does it happen?
Isn't monthly maintenance with
Why?
those contracts similar to like the Verges? It should be
It
done
should
monthly.
be done monthly, but it doesn't happen.
Correct.
And then the funny enough is these people still go there and try to collect money. You know, they still get paid. And then some of them just get pissed off and say, I ain't getting paid for what I'm supposed to do right now anyway. So I leave it because this government suck at paying small contractors regardless. So a lot of people just frustrated and they ain't doing the little, like you say, shovel with the bucket and stuff like that because they ain't getting paid for that and all either. And so that again leads to the issues. We accept any and everything and think, oh, that's okay. This is how it works. But we don't demand better. And I want, when I'm successful, I want Pinewood to demand better of me. This is our community, and we will fix it if we all hold each other accountable. And so consistent, that's why I say every month consistently. And what I'm going to do is I have a map that I'm going to show residents to enlighten them so that they are aware. Because it's a community project. They will know where exactly their drainage is, and they could contact my office and say, hey, Mr. Road, we have this drainage problem here. This look like it's flooding because they'll have to. We could really even give them a tutorial to visualize and see that there's an issue, and they could reach out to our office. We'll go there and we'll assist them in cleaning up. So now they take ownership of their street to make sure, for the most part, their drains are maintained.
I was only waiting for her to come back, but there's something that you mentioned as far as youth empowerment as well as part of your ACE program.
Yeah.
Now, there's a certain baseball park in Pinewood that me and MJ have been privy to.
Oh, that's crazy.
And trust me when I tell you, we have some friends that are interested in doing some stuff. So when you're ready to deal with that, let us know.
Please let's collaborate on that because that park there, I've championed from last year, January. I've been on the park calling who is the contractor, who has the contract, who is being paid. Literally to the point where I literally had to go in the park myself and clean up. In Sequoia Street, I had to do a community park cleanup.
space.
And I got to give iElite credit. When they used to work their kids out there before they moved to the stadium, they used to go in pocket to clean that field and have it redone.
And just so you know, that field is so impactful. They used to have the JBLM Classic and the youth baseball going on right out at that park. They used to have the little league going on out there. But it's run down.
And I've heard rumors. I've heard allegations that a certain young baseball player who happens to play second base for the Yankees right now wanted to adopt that park
and do big things. Why did he not capitalize on it? I mean, we talking about partnership and empowering young people
to run around. It's always airbagging. It's always blah 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 blah. But no.
But I mean, with a second baseman, if it's rumored a second baseman in the MLB, his connections, his resources. You don't have to do much. You just got to facilitate the project. No, collaborate, and that's why I say, not even me. I'm inventing the wheel. That's why the Prime Watch. I say I can rely on some retired officers who could help me.
But hold on,
I don't know it all. I need help.
Maybe allegedly, like the Texas Rangers project to the tune of $600 million at the sports center. Too many people wanted lunch money in the process, and it kind of buying lunch been killing us as a country for years.
I mean, but when we get past buying lunch and just empowering our communities, our children suffering.
Let me tell you something though. When you look at young people in Pinewood though, when you look at the sports and you cover the sports and you look at the schools, you got a lot of good athletes that come out of Pinewood.
And that's why I don't understand. And that's why I'm going to champion that park there. That has endless potential to the point where that has a baseball field on it. The bathrooms is in a state of that don't even work. The
That's
sewer
crazy.
was open. I was like, what is that? I've been crying and I hope.
There's a
and
track
I pray.
to run around.
That field is such a
And
great space.
that
I used to walk around that.
I don't understand. I
that
always
park.
ask who's the contractor. I hope they ain't getting paid. More than likely they are getting paid, but that park needs it.
That
has
park
a
could
tennis
do
court.
baseball, you could do
That's
flag-
the
you could do
baseball.
flag football
I just was
field
going to
over
say
there.
that. You see that back part, Naughty? I didn't see a whole flag football
huge.
arena going on in the back there.
It's a beautiful
People
space.
be looking for places to play flag football. Pinewood could be a flag football hub. You want to play and y'all have your league on Windsor and y'all just be by the stadium. No, come in Pinewood. Come down here. Let roll to the pole. Come. We want you. Because I want to set up a flag football field in the back there. The
And
tennis
I think-
court ain't working.
And see, the community gets involved because now you go around and you find who got the best fritters in Pinewood.
Who get the best?
Who got the best hot dog? Who got
You
the
see
best
what's going on.
hamburger. And you got
if you
your-
ain't from Pinewood, you can't set up your stall. Let's for Pinewood people
Thank
only.
you
They
very
set
much.
up their stall
And
and
it
we
becomes
hosting
a
everything.
co-op. You get a
it's
season and a weekly thing.
You
see?
see?
I think it's-
So
I-
that is how you empower your community and the residents of that community.
us
Because
posted.
now
And I
that
think you
park
make a
would be
good
a
point
hub.
about that park, though, because I did used to go when the boys played baseball out there, practice out there. I used to go to the park, but the bathrooms, complete mess. You can't go to a park where if you need to run to the bathroom, you ain't gotta you run into the bush.
Not
Like
even a bathroom.
that makes no sense.
The lights need to be fixed out there.
No lights.
I remember Popeye was saying yesterday that people aren't going to the parks, which is true. We don't see the numbers.
The only thing they
but
did
because
within the
it's
last
not
2 months
fixed
or so with
properly.
that park
But
is
watch
just cut the
this.
grass. They cut
Yeah.
the
If you got a park with Pinewood events going on, right? And you got kids signed up for a soccer program that Pinewood's running. So you get the kids go out and they practice and they soccer. You got the dads out there. Now the moms could not come out and but I won't walk the track. I won't get some
I used to
exercise.
Because
walk-
it does have the
walking
big
that
track go around. That park
Or you
has
got a playground and you got
everything.
other
That
things
has-
going on for
that
other
park-
kids and parents to go to while
Marty,
other practices
literally,
are going
that park
on.
has everything. It has a swing set. It has a seesaw. It has. It's
has a
limitless.
lot of
It has
potential, a
everything
lot of
out there.
potential.
And so that by times we finish with that, that could be the new hot spot.
But
to
let me
walk.
ask you this question. Is obviously the $7 million in the overage and the budget at beaches and parks ain't none gone there.
I don't know that.
Ain't none gone there, right?
I don't know where the beaches and park money gone, but it clearly ain't gone there. I try to find which park it gone on.
Yeah, we need.
I don't know if it gone to park. It's like you see the Chinese coming to do free work for us.
Electioneering.
Engagement there.
Word of the day is
Well,
electioneering.
Well, then they probably got the bag to blow now.
Let's go to the phone lines. Talking heads.
You know, the MJ and
Hey.
the candidate, the proposed candidate for the constituency.
Yeah.
Let me just say this very quickly, Naughty. Interesting conversation. The thing is, we could clean up the park and fix up the park and everything. I think the thing that we really need to pay attention to is after all of that is said and done, how do we continue to consistently
Yes.
maintain the park? Ensure that the grass is cut on time. Ensure that the basketball rims are up. Ensure the nets are on the rim. Ensure the lighting on the park is actively on. And these are some of the things that sometimes it really amazes me that we allow, after spending all of this money, we just allow the infrastructure to fall down.
Yeah, we're not
And
seeing
you got
it.
a whole division, beach and parks.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have this significant budget to based upon the studies, and if the money is supposed to be shared around appropriately, and you find out this park here don't need, let's say for instance, $100, but they only need $50 this year.
Right.
Then that extra $50 could go to the park, to the other park that really needs it.
I
But
agree.
to see all these parks continue to be run down, the bathrooms all broken up, nobody's held to account, nobody knows where the money is going, and so on and so forth, then it means that we need to find the right people to do the right fit, to ensure that they're in place, to ensure that the park remains clean, all the infrastructures remain working. It's like a watchdog, and maybe this is where the local government part comes in for each constituency. But thanks for taking my call.
All right, Jeff, good stuff. And that's always amazed me too. Like why do we set up beaches and parks the way we do? I was very privy to Parks and Rec in Pasadena, California. Stacey Augman is a close personal friend. When I would go out there, his brothers worked for the city of Pasadena, and they worked
Park and Rec is a
park
big
and
deal.
recreation. And
It's
guess,
a big deal.
And guess where they work? Because they live right above the Rose Bowl. They had the contract where
For
they
the
would
Rose
work
Bowl?
for the Rose Bowl. And how this worked is 6 a.m. before the game, parking lot clean and blown out. Soon as the game over, parking lot clean and blown out. Stadium cleaned out. All of that kind of stuff. All the parks and rec areas in that facility of the Rose Bowl. They were in charge of nets on the rim, rims on the basketball court. Does the court need to get redone and refurbished? The roads leading into it, the walking paths, everything.
Yeah.
And what they did was they hired young men and women from the community, and it's set up that working for park and recreation is a career job. You get your benefits, you get your insurance, and you could retire by the time you're 40 or 45, but you put in your time there, but it is a great department. And I think we need to dedicate, with the amount of young men coming out of school, especially unemployed, $5,000 a year, graduate, and they come out unemployed. That's a great department. It put together correctly could facilitate taking care of all the parks in the country and give people a work
We
orders.
literally
and
have
know
an
what to do.
authority that should be doing that. Let's go to the phone lines.
We need to enhance it though and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Talking heads.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I want to say that I love you so much.
We talking to MJA because you can't be talking to me. I appreciate the sentiment, but no, Diddy, I get it.
I love you
That's
too.
all right, that's all right. You mentioned Pasadena, California.
Yes.
And my step-grandmother lives 110 years right there.
Wow.
Right where the Rose Bowl Parade.
Well, you can't. If she lived right there 110 years, I'm talking 143 West Howard, Pasadena, California.
Oh, yeah, man. You make my heart. But I want to say congratulations to your guests, my family, too. So we're doing well. I haven't heard any such loaded proposals and also actions prior to election, before election, after election, from any person, and it's a young man. So, and he's in technology. Man, we need to get it rolling. And his name is Roll, okay? Get it right.
I got you.
Thank you, man.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you, caller.
You
Let's
do
get
seem
the other one.
well matched.
Naughty,
for Pinewood.
to your thing, to your point, you was saying, you was referencing like the whole authority thing. My thing is, this is where this whole friend, family, and lovers thing
gotta stop. And we need a Procurement Act, and we need a Freedom of Information
I can tell
Act.
you one thing. You obviously, even if they give my pass through beaches and parks, I got some saying who get that. And if you ain't doing your job within a month, you getting fired.
You should.
I don't care how much you is. I sending you home because you making me look bad. You are a representation of me. If I say, okay,
And I can remember you say that, though.
Pull the tape, bring it back, air it loud. Because if you making me look bad, that's a reflection of me. I don't want no jokers around me. This ain't about me. This is about the residents of Pinewood. You can't say, oh, but you's my boy. No, but you ain't my boy. Because if you's my boy, you wouldn't have been
doing
making
the
like that.
job.
You'd have been making me look good. I can't. That's where we got to put
Let's
our
get to the phone line. Talking Heads.
Naughty. In the same sentiment of that call, he said, let's get it rolling. I can add that one to the bunch, along with let's roll to the polls, Pinewood.
All right.
It's high time we find individuals that's, one, people-centered, community-centered, but beyond that, are experts in their field of solving the challenges that we have as a country. And Naughty, I've had the opportunity to work with Denari in many fashions. John Canoe, community work, crime work, been exposed to some of his water and sewage expertise and things that he shared with me in the putting of his plans together. I am elated, and I want Pinewood to be proud of only to have someone of his caliber be interested in representing them at the national level. And I believe that he will do tremendously well in the representation of the people and the constituents of Pinewood. And I just want to congratulate him. I'm so proud of this young man. Most of all of his example of being a father. Proud of him, man. And we need more young people of our nation to be able to embrace young people who can help advance our country on the national level. Again, I just wanted to call and support him and encourage as many people to support his campaign in any which way is possible. If there's only further bring that, I'm sure that will be of some help. We got work to do in our country, and we need to support people and get behind people that are experienced in solving the challenges that we have before us. So again, Denari, nationally, I told you it recently, you're a tremendous friend, but nationally, I want to see you become a leader that our country can say we're proud that we supported your journey to helping us with the issues that we just see going like a revolving door.
Thank you so much.
Brother.
Thank you so much, caller.
Thank you. That's my
Let's go to the next caller.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Talking Heads. Hi, caller.
Talk to your phone, not your radio.
Yes, Mr. Roll. I heard some of your ideas. But, in relation to the Bahamas and the system of governance, we are well aware enough that the Prime Minister holds a lot of power. So you could come with a lot of ideas. You're seeing individuals come with very vibrant ideas to change constituencies. But proverbially in the Bahamas, you will hear this phrase called the whip is on. So you could come with all the ideas you want, but are you able to implement said ideas?
Okay.
Do you have the power to bring these into fruition? Or it's the exercise of fertility? That's my only point. Is I feel like we need a transition in system of governance. We have a lot of individuals with great ideas, but not able to implement them. They solely because of our system of governance. Enlarged, inflated cabinets, individuals taking cabinet and other positions, compromising their positions, and they're unable to do what they have to do in 5 years. So I don't know how you can get around that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. We'll give Mr. Roll a chance to answer that. Thank you so much, caller.
Yeah, I thank the caller for that call. It's a fair comment. It's a fair comment, and it's some of the realities that we do face. In the Westminster system, the leader does have all to say. However, and that's why some of the things I'm doing now, it isn't about if I am able to. because I'm able to do it now without being in government, right? So the drainage maintenance and having these heavy equipment, that's just connections. That's just my relations from working in the field. People who does this type of stuff, this them believing in a young person, understanding how the system works to achieve said goals. The biggest thing the government will have to potentially facilitate is the overall, like I mentioned, 3 to 5 year plan with the overall development, which is almost what they have table right now at 20 million. The government will have to facilitate that. But these immediate relief projects that I'm talking about, these are cost-effective projects that I could pull off with public-private partnerships to get the job done. So sometimes it seems far-fetched in terms of what they're doing, but some of these solutions that I'm talking about is literally within my control, and if all goes well with the continued work of partnerships and collaborations that I have in networking, these are things I could achieve without the government hand being so much heavy on me per se. But what I'm going to say is Mr. Pindad, Leader Pindad, is a fella that he listens, and I'm a champion in his ass. I'm one of them that speak truth to power. I'm young. He appreciates young leadership and vibrancy, and he really believes in innovation. And so I don't see it being a challenge per se, even on the wider scale, in overall addressing this issue, because I think he seriously and wholeheartedly does also believe, like I do, in resolving matters that have been affecting the Bahamian people so long. He is like a younger generation leader compared to the set we had before. He's 60s, everybody has 70 odd and so I don't think there's going to be a challenge in me championing this cause, and I think I'll have his full support in trying to alleviate this problem.
Let me get this text and we get to the calls. Good afternoon. As a young man with a family, it's refreshing to see this young man present himself to the forefront of our country. I believe the country needs younger minds with fresh ideas in this modern era. Most of these problems are great-grandparents face, like no running water in the over-the-hill communities, must change. God bless and all the best.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Let's get to this call. Talking Heads.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Ms. MJ.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Dennis. What's going on, Mr. Talking Class?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm very elated to hear from Mr. Roll, and I think I would like to know if my schoolmate Michael Pindad put him in contact with his adversary, another classmate, Mr. Miles, who ordered to carry him on a tour and teach him how to clean up clear up them drains. Sound like you went to St. Mary in Halifax, Mr. Roll.
Yeah, it's in Halifax.
Okay.
Yes, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Good old
sound like
Canada.
your expertise with these drains and these flooding, because I was listening and I couldn't remember the amount. That $20 million infrastructure money they promised, right?
Yes, sir. They promised $20 million. So they said it's $20 million out of a $100 million IDB loan, and they allocated $20 million for Pinewood. And I don't know when that's going to reach. This government, they chaotic. They promise you this and you don't get that, or they say the money for this, then they change their mind and say they misspoke. So it's no telling when the residents are going to get relief, and that's why I'm trying to work on the immediate relief that I could bring now. I'm trying to work on.
I wish you well, because I hope y'all could get them drains sorted, because my baby brother lived in Pinewood, and behind that, in the back there by the school, and in the area in the back there too, and I think him and his wife and his son, his husband, flood.
Yeah, right off the wall there by Cleveland Indians and Sadie Curtis. But one of the things, and that's why I'm going to start with drainage maintenance, because that's one of the things we could do now that's practical, that it doesn't take a lot of work, it doesn't take a lot of stress, it just takes someone who's serious about it. You don't need government intervention. You have $150,000 a year that the MPs get. He could have put down aside a small capital project just for drainage maintenance if the Ministry of Works was joking, and facilitated through that if he was serious about that. So
sound like some good.
Those are some things we could do right away, right now.
Between the flooding thing, you could teach them some lesson, and even with them parks, them and things, because let's get up the phone with my nephew in Mount Moriah, and that overage at $179,487.18 that would have been for Pinewood constituency from the metropolitan and beaches and parks. He ain't got the what it is, the Wi-Fi working on the park in Yellow Elder, and the bathrooms them all lock up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you could teach them some
But three Chinese foreign nationals got a key to the utility shed and in the Golden Gate Park.
So it's crazy.
And that same amount is allocated to each constituency. 39 constituencies within the Bahamas from the $7 million overage, and they could do.
Listen to me. It's limitless what these leaders can do, man. Again, the Bahamian people just have the demand and want better. We just have to stop accepting anything that gets thrown at us and really understand our worth, man.
Yeah, there's plenty.
seal. I mean, y'all I listened to y'all earlier talking about sealing the paint. Now you need couple of gallons of paint. So tell Beaches and Park, tell Mount Moriah, Mr. Bonamy, them find the money to seal them paint so them children don't get and the young people them who go there don't have to suffer no illness from these toxic paint or whatever it is. But Mr. Roll, you do well, and tell Pin that what I mean. I'm Dennis Rice. Say put you in contact with Miles Doder. You understand?
Well,
okay.
Yes, I appreciate that. I let him know I spoke to his classmate. I'd see Mr. LaRoda in passing and ask him if he want to come on the tour with me to show him how he could execute some of his duties.
Thank you so much.
Dennis is trouble with
our talking glassmate. But, he brought up a good point, and I think we've kind of been speaking around this a little bit during this whole conversation, but a lot of this comes back to transparency. Mm-hmm. Transparency in the decisions that our government makes on our behalf, transparency when it comes to spending. You have this whole issue happening with beaches and parks, but we don't know where the money that was allocated went to. We're not getting an itemized list. You talk about, and every time I hear, the bathroom is locked at this park, locked at that park. Well, if they are doing some work on some of the parks, can they tell us which parks it is that they've invested our money in? Can they explain to us why in 4 years some of these parks have not been touched at all in 4 years?
I mean, and that was one of the questions we asked in those of Assembly. The leader, the deputy leader raised it. Some of our opposition members, they refused to answer. We have like 150 on record, one of them being, what is the overrun, where is the money from the overrun gone? I see they refused to let the member of parliament for Mount Moriah answer. When he answers, I see he say something else, but what happened back when or something like that, but not to address the overrun. And I think this is a consistent pattern of this government. When they had the 183 million contract and then come back, then the press officer, Mr. Raman, said that was a printing error. And then he never came back and said, what is the correct amount?
Right.
So if it was 183 and it was an error, then what is the correct amount that it was supposed to be? What happened to the money? What happened to the contract? Did it go through? Did it didn't go through? So it's systemic with this government. Every time you ask them something, it's a mistake, but then we never know what actually happened.
Think about it. We just borrowed, or in the process of borrowing, $195 million from the Chinese Exim Bank, right, to build a new specialty hospital. There was talk about a contract out there for $183 million, and then once it saw the light of day, suddenly, no contract. But you would think that in order to spend or to even propose to spend that, such a large amount, that it would have gone through, not only would it be absolutely necessary, but it would have gone through certain steps. So
to make such a
it's very strange.
It's crazy because it's the same thing with the Grand Lukai, and they had a big shebang. I mean, they carried a whole cabinet, they party, they had celebration, they staged the whole fake makeshift window breaking with the tractor, and they doing repairs. But then you ask, the $120 million in the bank? Cricket. So right now, in 2026, we still want what happened to the $120 million sale for the Grand Lukai? And that's what y'all say. Freeport and Grandmama, they want better. These are some of the questions the Bahamian people asking that are on the record we can't get an answer to. They stage it. They had big party. They say it's said. It ain't said. Just know, lady, you just mentioned the bank the hospital that we borrowed $195 million for. Now, I saw the minister held the naughty drilling too earlier. He come in the papers today and say, they still waiting on China now to do some approval.
Right.
And this, but you just say, you're all going through that. You had all town hall. We tell you the place flooded. We tell you that's a bad place to put it. You say you causing congestion to the area. You still say you going there with the hospital. You still carry the cabinet to go get approved. Now you in the papers today saying, we still waiting on the Chinese to give us some sort of approval or something, and then we can move forward with the project. So it's like this government does a lot of talking, fluff talking, what they think should happen or what's going on, then it's never happened. We've hammered them. Leave the marinas alone. You're killing them. Been on record time after time. I see from 2 years. Please, loose the industry. You could kill the industry, reverse the tax.
And that industry's dead. They got to rebuild.
It dry. The harbor's dry. Nobody there. They thought they was doing so good. Now you have the deputy now coming back. Based off what the people are saying in the community. Why you ain't consulting in the first place? Why you waiting until the rubber meets the road, the marina dead, everybody around the Caribbean eating off us. We supposed to be eating empower our people. Now you coming back to retry. We can look at and we can review the structure and how it's set up now, because it's election time. Come on, man. This government just cannot be trusted with anything.
We're going to take a quick break right here. You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM with Naughty, MJ, and our very special guest, the ratified candidate for the Pinewood constituency for the Free National Movement, Mr. Denari Roll. We'll be right back.
One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't want to be there. None for the trying to hold them back. Five in the air for the teachers not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that the holding back that the world is theirs. Yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world.
Refined style with elegant taste. Then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl and drink or a one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and soda, all for just $9.95. KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, January 6th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. Our special guest, F&M ratified candidate for Pinewood, Mr. Denari Road. And listen to all the sports aficionados. We've started off the year running. And I promise tomorrow and into the next couple of days, we'll have more sports for you and all. But we just wanted to get this, get the show running, get it back on the air for the new year. Because all of y'all call us Sunday. Y'all call me in Pearly Sunday, all hot up. My God, relax. We appreciate you. And we'll definitely get the sports in there. I know it's important to y'all, but just the first couple of days, we had some special guests. We got some real pertinent things to talk about. Tomorrow, Mr. Peter Moore is going to be our special guest. We're talking marinas, but I promise you I have a budget enough time in there for sports. But we're having a great candid conversation today. You know I got to go overtime when somebody, after all my life on this planet, all of MJ's life on this planet, after everybody who's been living in Pinewood for generations, there's finally light at the tunnel, a potential, a hero, a champion who emerges from the floods to stop the flooding. Denari Road.
Okay. All right. But I did want to ask you about something that's been on my mind a little bit. It's just about just engagement. I feel that some Bahamians feel disengaged from the whole process of voting because they feel that politics is cynical. What do you think about that? And do you think that candidates such as yourself have bear any responsibility for that reality?
That is a reality that I currently face. Again, like I mentioned earlier too, I'm not disillusioned at the fact that people are generally turned off with politicians, and that's why I say initially that's how I felt like, is it really worth it? But having a young son, and his future is on the line with we have look like a legal immigration crisis and a language barrier in the classroom. I have to fight for, if only the future of him, to have some stake and stay in his game. And so my mission and my mandate is, I am a servant of the people. Our slogan is, we work for you. I think this F&M team, and if you look at the team, the makeup already, the 28 candidates, majority of us are fresh faces to politics, but not fresh faces to service. And so we understand the dynamics of working on behalf of people, and all we're doing now is taking it to the national level. And so politics is one on the ground. You have to engage with with voters. You have to reach them where they're at. And that was one of my mandates too. As much as possible, Pinewood has 13 polling divisions on average. They have 5,500 or so registered on average, 4,400 participating in voting. My goal was to meet every single resident prior to being ratified, because one of the things I didn't want them to say, although I wasn't able to do it because it's such a big community, I didn't want them to say, oh, Roll only coming to me now because it's politics. And when I first went around the individuals, I was talking to them about, hello, my name is Denari Roll. I just want to introduce myself to you as a Bahamian. Get to know me first. We could talk politics at another time, but let's just talk Bahamian to Bahamian, resident to resident. What are some of the things you want to see in the community? And so that has been my initial approach. I'm ratified now, so obviously I have to talk politics, but I want to meet people where they're at. I want to have candid, frank conversations with them, and I always apologize. I do apologize for the lackluster thereof on any side that you may have feel that have, made you feel the way that you do. But it is my hope that you please give me a chance. Look at it, and what I'm doing too is I have the Pinewood Action Plan. I have that in digital form, and I'm sharing it with them. I say, here, this is for you. Take it, read it, and digest it. If you see anything that needs to be improved, tell me, let me know. And if it's all good for you, then just hold me accountable, Just hold me accountable. I ain't like the politician who come into your door talking, and leaving without nothing. I giving you it in black and white. So as I move along, you could take off and say, boy, he do this. Yes, he do that. Like you have something to look forward to, and that is my approach. I'm leaving them with something that I want them to do. And my social cards, they say, let's connect. I am very social. 818-PINE is the community number. 818-PINE, 818-74638. Do it so people could remember it. Contact me. I have it right here. I answered. I talk to you direct. I ain't hiding. You could call me. We could WhatsApp. You name it. You could find me on any social media platform. Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, Linktree. I have the website. Everything is at one place. Just type in Denari L. Roll. You could follow the movement. You could follow what I do. You could follow the action. And if I don't bring
it's
you
going to
action,
be like that after.
Yes.
If you're elected, it's still going to be like that.
And if I elected, guess what they could do? It could turn up. You know why? Because right now I'm doing everything. This is from the goodness of my heart, my resources, my partners, the community assisting me, those who believe in my dream. This is how we are setting up. But now I will have the people money, and I working for them. I'll have $150,000 yearly too. Now invest and go bigger and better. Everything I do from start to finish, it will just be bigger and better, bigger and better, bigger and better, bigger and better. We're going to have basketball programs, flag football, sports, you name it, gone to bed. I'm going to introduce an annual basketball tournament. Annually. So every summer or depending on October, depending on my team, we're going to set that up. Every summer we engage. I'm going to bring a Junkanoo Club to the Pinewood community. I'm going to bring the Pinewood Band. I love music. We're going to have now the Pinewood Cultural Festival. So we're going to bring everything Bahamian, whether it's rake and scrape, Junkanoo, performances, singing. We could have the crochet, sock and the... Like you need
so
it.
you'll really be invested in the community.
It's all about community for me.
I do want to pivot.
Around.
I do want to pivot a little bit because I know that candidates are very excited for the community that will elect them. But most of your job will encompass, like I said, laws and policy and that kind of stuff. So definitely. Let's pivot just a little bit. You mentioned about the classroom and about the language barrier and some of the challenges we face there with some persons. Maybe we have a lot of younger foreign students in the classroom, and that may create somewhat of a problem. Well, I know it probably does create a problem for because our resources are so limited. Mm-hmm. So just tell us a little bit about, we've heard about the Free National Movement SHIELD plan, but I want you to tell us about how you're going to be able to deal with immigration compassionately, but while at the same time recognizing that this country has hard limits when it comes to housing, when it comes to education, when it comes to healthcare. These are realities. Yeah. So how do we balance immigration and being compassionate, but also being firm about our borders and protecting our borders, seeing as we do have these hard limits?
Yeah, so one of the things, even in the SHIELD plan, a lot of people might take for granted, but it's granular to me. And I think across divides, all the divides you just mentioned is data, disclosing the data. Across divides, we do a bad job at collecting data to make pertinent, logical, or sensible decisions. A lot of times we make decisions off how we feel. People saying this, all Bahamians don't prioritize, so this is what we can do. We can just do it this way, we can do it that way.
Right.
But you have an adult population, 250,000+ people. Are you trying to tell me 125, because I like numbers, 50 plus 1?
Right.
That's not prioritized, or 50 plus 1 can read it, right? So we have to start looking at, okay, how much illegal immigrants are actually here? How much captured, how much were sent back, how much are in the schools, how did they get in the schools, how much illegal immigrants are in the system on the whole, what are we doing with them, how often do we repatriate, what do we do? And I think when you start to now disclose and put these information together, MJ, you are able to make more informed decisions, because it's easy to say it's chaotic.
Right.
And we all agree we have an immigration crisis. But the only way we could tackle it is understanding what really exists. One of the key things, which is clear, is, and I support, if you are found here to be illegal, you get sent back, and you could never get
no pathway
to citizenship. And that's a clear policy. I don't think that's inhumane. That's only fair. And what a lot of people, whilst we have to be humane, a lot of people take that risk. Bahamians do it too. When you go abroad, you run the risk of, if you get catch, something happens. It's just like when you break the law. It's like we bypass the fact that people are actually taking a risk to break the law to be human. So it's like, we have to follow our law. And if you break our law by taking the risk, not that you don't want better, we ain't inhumane, but that the fact is, we catch you, it was illegal, and you should be dealt with. Just like any other fella on the block, he had a little joint in his pocket, and he get locked up and the police charge him, and it on his record for life, in a sense, unless he get it expunged. The same rule applies with immigration. So we have to enforce the laws that currently exist on our books and just be serious about it. Bahamians are most, in some cases, responsible. Cheap labor and doing certain things and beating the system. So we have a role to play in it too. But it's a collective effort. Understanding what the data is, sticking to our law, and just enforcing it.
Good day, Mr. Rudge. Good afternoon, Noddy and MJ. Will Mr. Rudge be willing to challenge his counterparts in Pinewood to a debate on the national issues?
Any place, anywhere, anytime.
Yes, I'm glad he brought it and spoke about visibility. Will Mr. Rudge be visible if he's successful in Pinewood in the next election? Because Gordon House hasn't seen the last PLMP from he won his seat, and now the new one in the by-election, we still can't see.
Well, again, 818-7463, 818-PINE. You could reach me on that at any time. Our office would be open Monday to Friday on Bay Geranium Avenue. So people could check us in about 2 weeks. I'll have the official opening, just waiting to iron up some kinks and stuff with the landlord. People could reach me. Again, let's connect. I'm very social. I can't be here, there, and everywhere at the same time, but what I do commit to is, if you are a resident of Pinewood and you want to see me or you want to meet with me, I am open, I'll able, and I will be having office hours daily. At least 2 to 3 hours a day just to meet with residents. So one of the things I don't want Pinewood residents is they can't find Mr. Road. 818-7463. Find me. If you can't find me, find someone in the community, find my team. We will be connecting on the ground. Live, eat, sleep, Pinewood.
One of the things that a lot of Bahamians are facing right now is the cost of living crisis. Mm-hmm. It's been going on for years now. Things are very, very hard right now for many Bahamians. I know that your party has put some of its plans out there, but not all of it. What are some of the plans for empowering Bahamians, giving them more economic opportunity? I know that we always talk about foreign direct investments and PPPs, that kind of thing, foreign firms. But what do you say can be done to give Bahamians meaningful equity in this economy?
Well, I would go right back to, and what we were already committed to doing again, is immediately eliminate VAT on essential items, the day-to-day activities, the bread basket items and stuff. We reverse that, send it back to zero. Like you say, the cost of living is so high, so putting taxes on top of things that was zero rated, which was actually bringing real relief to people, I think is one of the key components to those, especially that are struggling, to be able to just sustain themselves on a day-to-day living. One of the things we also mentioned was we're going to explode the housing revolution. And doing that means we have to find ways to empower Bahamians, So we partner with architects, engineers. They set up the designs. They develop the designs. The Bahamians don't have to pay for that. They get to pick based off the value that their pockets could afford, because, some banks charge you arm and a leg with the down payment, the deposit and stuff like that. So if we waive that old down payment process, and then you could apply based off what you could qualify for, whether it's through the bank or Bahamas Mortgage Corporation, you will have structures now that are set up according to your pockets. So now you ain't so in debt with the bank for all those years, or you don't have to come up with so much up front, because now we're going to build affordable housing for you to be able to apply for within your bracket. And so I think that's another way where housing is one of the biggest issues. Owning a piece of our land, obviously, is one of the biggest issues for behemoths right now, and that's one of the biggest steps you'd carry.
It's also a bit of a conundrum because I know that we've seen some reporting that there are like 25,000 properties that are just sitting empty.
Right,
so this is a tricky.
Yeah, people can't afford it, and that's why I think I like the idea that you build houses in different income brackets. And based off your bracket, you are able to apply for said house with our policy, and you'll be able to get that bracket. So while someone, if they could afford $200,000, good for them. But someone who could afford, let's say, $15,000 or $20,000, whom will now be able to get in that bracket. And then behemoths are actually setting up this industry. And so this is across the Bahamas. So now housing becomes more affordable. And so you still have a little more in your pocket now to buy groceries and live day to day or whatever. And then we also looking at just reviewing the whole salary scales and stuff in itself based off your profession and stuff like that. So these are some of the things I think we have started to mention. Like you say, it's not fully rolled out. And in the coming days, when you see election, it's called definitely the manifesto is going to drop. So you're going to have more meat on the bone for people to grasp and hold on to. But just those little initiatives right there that will launch, I think will make a huge impact in terms of the cost of living. Because if you could get your house at an affordable rate and you don't got to pay all kind of mortgage, like someone like me, to $1,500 a month and stuff like that, and you only could pay $500 or $600, that's like rent, then you good, because some mortgages now are rent actually cost the same as mortgages. So I think the housing revolution would help the fact that while you were paying rent to someone else, you'll be paying that money, that same rent money, to your own home. Yeah. But it's yours, you know?
So you talk about elections are coming up this year. How does the Free National Movement look? Y'all house in order? Y'all still, what they say, infighting?
We got 28. Listen to me, man. Politics, the opposite side will always say something about you know, the government in this case will always say something about the opposite side. But as you can see, they're having a big war now. The people
I see two big sumo wrestlers from the PLP going at it.
They got to throw blow yesterday.
Two big fluffies.
So what they good at doing is hiding their infighting. But what I did say is the FNM has been through but people say it to Madrid's face, but all that's a part of shaping a new leadership. That change is inevitable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but then I think it'll be worthwhile. Like I said, we have 28 candidates. Majority of them are new to the public service, new to politics, but not working on serving on behalf of people. I think that's going to bode well for us. It's going to be 13, potentially more seats now, because the government is going to table an additional 2 probably tomorrow in the House of Assembly.
So what are we looking at?
We look, from my understanding, you got Bimini and the Barry Islands. It's going to be a seat now they're adding on. Okay. And then they have a new seat out west where they chop up Kalani, Golden Isles, Southern Shores, and Tall Pines to make the seat called St. James.
St. James.
Yeah, St. James is the name. Yeah,
where did that name St. James? What does that represent? I know. When I heard Windsor, it's like, please, no more Windsors, no more royal family.
Right,
just don't call it Windsor.
And I think
I'm happy.
I think that's the government way to try. So look at us. We're being
Saint
black
James.
and Indian.
Saint
trying
James.
to play on the psyche like
St.
we care
James.
about it. Yeah, so I think that's what their intent is, to make it look like we love our people. We gonna name it St. James. That's my only guess. But I think from what I understand, those are the 2 seats that are going to be added and potentially table if the Prime Minister doesn't make any changes. Obviously, we don't have enough members to vote against it, but we do feel like I just felt like they went backwards with it. I think they should have done cleanup, because they are on record saying, where are these voters? Does all these voters actually exist? Where are the numbers? And so how do you cut or create seats or cut boundaries if you ensure the numbers look? And so I think they did a piss poor job, but they should have, again, they put the cart before us. They should have cleaned up the register first. Clear it up, make sure everything is in order. To have a appreciation again for the numbers. And then you can make informed decisions on how do I want to cut the boundaries. So in my view, I just think they just gerrymandering to try cut in their favor. And they just creating chaos for the BMN people. That's what they normally do, just govern a bunch of confusion, just create a bunch of chaos, hope it don't play out, and then Bahamian people just created the working chaos. That's the thing they're trying to do. But the reality is, if the voting register is fixed, and you're saying you doing this adjustment to solve a number issue because Golden Isles is so big, but your age is on record saying, where's all these people? We didn't find them either. Shouldn't you have cleaned it up first to make sure everything in order, and then you make the adjustment? So how you moving numbers you ain't sure exist or you don't know where they is to balance it out in other places?
Inquiring minds would love to know.
We got to have you back to answer some more questions, but we appreciate you being here, being so candid. Obviously, that's a sign from Mr. Producer. That is a wrap. on the Tuesday, January 6th edition of Talking Heads. But we want to thank you for being here. Obviously, you'll be no stranger. We'll have you back. And thank you so much for enlightening us on how that Pinewood flooding could stop. Like to be honest, that inquiring minds wanted to know. Like MJ
keep
said.
watching out for it now. They keep watching out for it, man. I'm going to be a champion for that.
There you go. Well, glad you're here today and looking forward to hearing from you in the future. For MJ, this is your boy Naughty. For everybody who chimed in, called in, texted in, good stuff. Talking Heads, keep it up, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on Talking Heads. Our special guest, Mr. Peter Morey.
Just remember when you come up, show goes on all night. I'm ready to show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long.
Looking for a school that's international, proudly Bahamian, and truly invested in your child's future? Bring the kids and join us at the St. Andrews International School Open House on Saturday, January 17th at 11 a.m. Meet our passionate teachers, tour our campus, and experience a vibrant, welcoming community where students are supported, challenged, and inspired to lead with confidence. Come see the St. Andrews difference for yourself. Visit standrewsbahamas.com or call 677-7800. St. Andrews International School, ethics and excellence.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl and drink or a one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and soda, all for just $9.95. KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and binders, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.